this is our beginning elementary plan, and it's for any beginning elementary that comes to us from the age of first grade to sixth grade, if they're complete beginners. Like oftentimes, especially nowadays, if you test fourth, fifth, and sixth graders, they're actually at a higher level, and we won't begin them on elementary one. But if they're complete beginners and they cannot read and write, then we begin them on this. And also, this will be for kindergarten students if they, from the age of 5. I don't recommend writing before the age of 5 because they just don't have the pencil skills. But before that, this is okay. So basically, this is the basic beginning elementary plan that we use with complete beginners, and we have aims. So for us, like this is our aim. So I'll go to the next slide. So in 4 to 6 months time. So keep in mind that these are complete beginners and they come with not being able to read or speak or do anything, but we want them to be able to ask and answer simple question and answers. I mean, it's obvious, but the easy ones like, what's your name? How old are you? When's your birthday? Do you like, can you, what's your favorite? What school do you go to? What grade are you in? Those are like basic questions. We want them to be able to ask, but also answer. Okay, so the next one is read 3-letter words, simple sentences, question and answers. Okay, so that's the goal. But today we're only talking about A, B, C. So everyone begins the same, at the same level, and then we want them to progress to the next. The next one is writing. So I'm sure we all know, but writing is often delayed. Like their reading will be at this level and their writing is at a lower level. So even though they might be reading at the next level, textbook level, they're still writing in the ABC. Okay, knowing lots of vocabulary, gaining confidence, progressing and having fun. So many times we're not necessarily like the Genki teacher. We believe that fun comes from the kids actually progressing. They do well and they're happy with what they do and they progress to the next level. So that's the fun. That's where they feel pride in themselves. So in our lessons, it's more Montessori style where the children are doing things. Okay, so next what we're going to do is just look at the video. It's on our homepage, but each of our different styles of lessons. So kindergarten, elementary, this is the one we'll watch, elementary, ABC, middle level elementary, high level elementary, and junior high all have a video. And it just basically shows the lesson flow. So we'll watch that first and then we're going to go through each things.
Very good. Go. Go. Very good.
Lion.
Lion.
Dog.
Cool.
Monkey. Lemon. Insect. Egg.
Yeah, good. Big. Big. Argonaut. Yeah, good. Net. And this one. Yeah, pan. Yeah, good. Good for cat.
Nest.
Yeah, nest. What's this?
America.
What's this?
England.
Oh, what's this one? Yeah, good. Net. Good. So, what is it? Rainbow. What's this one? Right, let's go. What colour is corn?
Yellow.
Yes, it's yellow. What is it?
Shark.
Shark. Here you go.
Train.
Train. Iris.
Soccer player.
Soccer player. Oh, who's this?
Elephant.
Elephant. Yes. Catch. Red circle.
Bear.
Here you are. Good. I have an alligator and it's small, it's red and black. Maybe everyone else. No and no.
I have a bear.
Good, I have Noah. I
like milk. I like milk.
I'm Japanese. Okay, ready? We'll do one more.
Horse.
A horse. Very good. Horse. Okay, so the reason we showed the video is just to give like a basic idea, but of course there's lots of things we'd actually change about that video. So for example, it doesn't have any question time, which is like a fundamental part of the lesson. Also, when we did the toy box, the kids weren't saying it's like when they were getting the things, like tiny little things that unfortunately we would change. Also, just for the video, many times the teacher was behind the students, but actually in normal lessons, the students are in like a circle and the teacher is in the middle so that they have easy access to all children at all times. And also the activity, the beginning activity you saw, the students were individual, but actually nowadays, lots of times we do it in 2s or sometimes even 3s. Okay, but anyway, the main point is it gives you an idea of what a typical lesson would be at our school. Okay, so this is our typical lesson plan for all this children. So I did a presentation about a month ago on kindergarten. Kindergarten is different, junior high school is different, but any elementary who's on elementary 1, 2, 3, 4 basically have this lesson plan, but the activities and games that they do changes. So this is the 60-minute elementary lesson that we use. So 30 minutes we use games and flashcards. And I like to think of just having 2 different ones per class. So it makes it very simple. You just have to, which games, which flashcards am I going to do, and only use 2. And individually in pairs and 3s or whole class. Question cards, as I said, I'll be showing you later on in this presentation the question cards and how we use them. Question cards, by default, at first it has to be group because the kids can't read the questions or they're not understanding or for whatever reason. But as soon as one student can read or can understand, then we put them into pairs or 3s. So as soon as, at least if you have 6 children, if you have 2 children that can read, then we'll have 1 child with 2 who can't and 1 child with 2 who can't. And that 1 child is directing and doing the question cards. And obviously the advantage of having them in pairs and 3s is there's more question time, more student speaking time. And the teacher is in the middle monitoring. So of course, that's the aim for everything, is to get the students doing their own thing. And then 20 minutes is writing. Okay, so this is the basic plan, and it's not always in this order. I mean, it's better actually if you do actually mix it up. So sometimes we begin with writing, sometimes we begin with the question cards, but it all just goes like in a different way. Okay, so I just want to watch the beginning real quick again. Just real quick.
Very good. Go. Very good.
Lion,
Lion.
cat,
Go.
monkey, lemon, insect, egg.
Okay, so I don't want to watch any more of the video, but I just wanted to show the beginning activity again. So it's not always, that game that they are playing is called flip and read. So we don't always use the same things as the beginning activity. It changes. So let me just go down real quick. This one. Okay, so we might use, so that one was this one here, the flip and read. We might use flashcards. We might use this game called read and match. But the main thing is that the puzzles also, we might do ABC puzzles. The main thing is that the kids are doing it on their own or in pairs or in groups of 3. They know there's a procedure. So they're not rushing through the game trying to do as fast as possible. What they're actually trying to do is do it correctly with procedure. So each game has what we like to call checks so that the children know how to actually play the game. And the teacher while the students are doing this, the teacher is in the middle. So in the video, it's kind of showing behind, but as I said, in a normal lesson, the teacher will be in the middle and they'll be listening, monitoring, and helping if needed. But we try to get the children to be as independent as possible. So only helping with as needed. Okay. And I said previously about, sorry, whoa, stop that one. Okay. I said previously about, anyway, let me just continue. Okay, so the beginning activity is level appropriate. So as said, these are beginning students, so they're going to be doing ABC phonics. But the teacher will be monitoring them, and as soon as they can possibly read, they have a good understanding of phonics, then we'll put them onto 3 letters or longer. But each of the games has the next level, individually or pairs usually. And how to make pairs. So I recommend if it's an activity like this, you would want to get students who are basically the same reading level, so that if one child is really good at phonics and the other child's not so good, you don't want to put them together, because then that means one child will be doing most of it. You want to have equal pairing. Okay, I think. In other activities, obviously, you know, you have different types of pairing, but for this type of thing where they're basically reading, you want them to have equal pairing. Okay, all kids are busy, so there's not one child over there who's doing nothing. They're all doing something. Okay, kids know how to play the game. This is super important. So with our students, we will model with them how we want them to play the game. And there's always 3 or 4 steps to each game, increasing difficulty. And then they will be in individual or in pairs doing it, and the teacher is monitoring that they're doing it well. Okay, as the beginning activity is going on, the teacher's in the middle monitoring, helping if needed, and this is preparing text for writing. So we'll go through this a bit more, but with our texts, the students will, if they do a page, we call them test pages. If they do a page and there are many mistakes, we will erase the mistakes and they'll do it again. So we are basically opening the books, seeing if they need to redo a page, erasing, and then just opening the books, so that when it comes to writing time, we can just put the books on their table and say, just begin here. And the lesson is student-led. The students direct themselves and get on and go to the next game. We like to think of ourselves as Montessori. So Montessori is obviously student-led, but it's also quiet and calm. So my children went to a Montessori kindergarten, and I always remember the teacher spoke in a very quiet voice. And when she spoke in a very quiet voice, then all the students spoke in a very quiet voice. And it just calmed everything down. And we kind of like the calm way of teaching, basically not teaching, of children teaching themselves. Yeah. Okay, so the next thing is things to avoid. These are things we don't really like. One more thing about the beginning activity, it normally lasts about 10 to 15 minutes. Okay, 10 to 15. Okay, these are things we try to avoid. Shouting, our normal way of speaking is not shouting, so I don't think we should encourage it with our students either. Rushing. I find that when students are rushing, finished, it means they haven't processed things and possibly have not learned very well. Teacher helping at all or too much. If possible, we want the students to help each other. For example, especially if they're beginning new students, they really don't know so much. So we obviously will have to help and tell them what that vocabulary is. But if at all possible, get a fellow student to help the student. And of course, that's good because it builds confidence. You know, if a student is helping a fellow student, it builds confidence. So of course we help a little, but we will help at the last result. Okay, bored or frustrated kids. So bored, why would students be bored? Basically because the activity is too easy or they've done it a million times. We get away with that because each of the games has a level, and once they do one level very easily, then they go to the next level, then the next level. And also there's each game is different, so they won't get bored of doing the exact same thing. Frustrated is obviously because kids basically it's too difficult for them and they're just frustrated. Okay, easy or hard in the same game. This is why we made our own games, because if you look at games that cater to Western children, to foreign children, I shouldn't say foreign, but anyway, native speakers. If you look at games that cater to native speakers, they will have in a reading game, they'll have 3-letter words like cat or mat, and then they throw in wheelbarrow and what was other things like I've seen before, sink and other things. Some words, you know, wheelbarrow, they never need to know that word. So it's just easy and hard in the same game. You have to think, what are we trying to do here? We're trying to get them to read. So it has to be this level, ABC. Next level, 3 letters. Next level, it just has the same thing. Okay, too few are a game. That if you have that the students just get a bit bored. Okay, so I want to go to the next slide, just a second. Okay, this is the game that you saw. And actually, it wasn't actually shown that well in the video. So I will show you what I mean by steps. This game is called Flip and Read, and the one that's made up you can buy on the ETJ book service, and then we have other ones on Teachers Pay Teachers that are the next level, the next level, the next level. Okay, let me just show you real quick.
Rainbow, go.
Okay,
Let's go. Let's go.
Okay, so I just want to say the first step is the students, and I'm playing it as a group right now, and then I will split them into pairs to play together. But we're doing it together as a group so they know the procedure. The very first step is to put the vocab words down, and you have to think it's the very, very first time they've encountered some of these words. For example, this one here is up, this one is vegetables. So of course, if they don't know, they should say. But if you skip this step, especially with beginners, they'll just start playing the game, but they don't even know what the vocabulary is. So of course, how can they match the letter with the vocab word if they don't even know what it is? So it's essential that you have steps, and the steps actually make sense. So why are they doing this? With this game, all these words are also in the text, and they're also in the other games. So they're not just being exposed to it here. They're being exposed to other places. So the very first step is put down the words, put down the cards, say the words. If they don't know it, they need to ask you or ask the other students. Okay, so let's do this one. Good horse.
Tiger.
Tiger, good.
Watch.
Vegetable,
Vegetable.
what a vegetable. Vegetable, good. And up.
Rainbow.
Rainbow, good.
Duck.
Duck. Okay, remember two-time check. Two-time check. So what? Okay, this is what I'm talking about. So the first was put the cards down. The second is play the game. The third, we have checks. And each step becomes slightly more difficult. But as I said, the students know by doing it all together as a group and then putting them into pairs, they know what the procedure is. And they're not rushing through the game. They're not slamming down on the table. They're actually saying the words, learning the phonics. Okay, so let me just go to the next one. One more time. Let's go. Good.
Horse.
Good.
Tiger. Watch.
Good.
Vegetable. Up. Rainbow. Duck.
Okay, so as you can see, that's the easier side because it's just the word again. But again, if up was new to them, vegetable was new to them, this is the third time they've had to say up and vegetable. So hopefully after the fourth time or whatever, they'll remember it. Okay, check on this side.
Horse.
One time, horse, good.
Tiger. Watch. Vegetable.
Up, good.
Rainbow.
Duck. Well done. Well done. Okay. Okay, so as you can see, the very last check is actually quite difficult. They have to look at the letter and say the word that was in the game. So of course, you know, in the game it was tiger. If some kids might say tree, or some kids might say tea. They might say other T words. Of course, that's also correct, but it's kind of important that they say the word that was in the game, because you will find that if you allow the children to say T every single time they see the letter T, then that's the only T word that they remember. But in the games and in the text, they're introduced to lots of different words. So they get lots of vocabulary by doing the ABC phonics. And they can associate the letter T with lots of different words and lots of different sounds. And this is basically the key to getting children to read in 4 to 6 months. They all begin at this level, and then they will be able to read. The steps are super important. As I said, after we did it all together, I would have split them into twos, and they're each playing on their own. Okay, so let me go to the next one. Okay, I had said previously about the usual beginning. So that flip and read game that we said, flashcards. Flashcards might sound quite boring, but in pairs and stuff, they can look at the letter N without looking at the back, try and think of words, and then flip over, say the words, and then go back again and look only at the letter N and try to remember as many as they can. It might sound like, oh, kids won't like that, but kids kind of like challenging themselves. So you can say it's a challenge, like how many N words can you think of? And they quite like the challenge. With anything you do, have steps and have procedures so that the children are not just rushing through. This other game too is called Read and Match, and that too has about 4 steps when the students play it. Okay, so let's go to the next one. Okay, I had said previously that often our students are at a higher reading level than their writing. So you saw here the flashcards, the Read and Match, and the Flip and Read. They begin with this, and each set, for example, I'll say this Read and Match here, each set has varying levels. So this is level A, and then it goes to level 2, level 3, and level 4. And each set has 36 vocabulary words. So 36 times 4, and they're all different. 36 times 4, by the time they get to 3 letters, they know and can match the letters to the words of 144 pictures and phonics. And again, all the words are recycled in the flashcards or the other games. So it's not just in this one game or the text that they're getting it. So this is how the students learn how to read and write after 4 to 6 months, by being at one level, then leveling up, then leveling up, then leveling up to the next level. And we find that they become very confident because, first of all, you say to them, look, you were on level A. So when it's an alligator, that's level A. You were on level A, and then you give them the B, which is a bear. Now you're on level B, and the kids know they're leveling up. They're going to the next level. So they're quite happy, to level up within the class. So that, again, is building confidence, and it's fun. Kids like to be, I made it to the next level. So normally we begin on these types of activities. They will still be writing with the elementary book, but they will be doing these same types of games, like Flip and Read here, or Read and Match here, or these are the flashcards here. Same types of games, but they're obviously more challenging. It goes to beginning with like very simple question in 3 letters to more difficult grammar and vocabulary, but they are still writing on the other book. But that's the beauty of it, is the students can level up to the next level textbook games, but they're still on the first textbook writing. Okay, so let's go to the next one. Okay, this is just going through again. Kids are learning as they play. Don't rush. Speak clearly and well. That goes along with not rushing. When kids rush or shout, it's not good pronunciation. So we want them to speak clearly and well. Kids do and teacher monitors. That's basically how we like things to be. I like to think of myself as a lazy teacher. The way I imagine myself is I'm sitting there with a coffee and I'm just listening. That's all I'm doing, because basically the kids are around me doing things, and I only intervene when kids might need some help and another kid can actually help them. Of course, I'm not actually doing that. I am actually involved and listening and helping out, but I like to have in my head, do not help, because actually teaching kids is hindering them. Okay, individually pairs or threes, and we said that before, it's more speaking time. So, and also it's easier for the teacher's in the middle monitoring. The text and activities, as you saw before, they're all interconnected. They have the same vocabulary, the same questions, the same answers, the same grammar when you get up to higher levels, but they teach the same thing in different ways. And activities are played with steps of increasing difficulty. This is extremely important. So before kids start games, go through how you want them to play it. And then they know the steps and they do it. Okay, so let's go to the next one. Okay, what did I want to do on this one? Just a second. Sorry, I'm just figuring out what I want to do here. Video. Oh, sorry. We're going to go on to writing now. So just a second. I'm going to fast forward to the writing bit of this.
Yeah, good. Big. It's in here. Big. Argonaut? Yeah, good. Net. And this one? Yeah, pan. Yeah, good. Good for cat.
Nest.
Yeah, nest. What's this?
American.
What's this?
England.
Oh, what's this one? Yeah, good. Net. Good. So, what is it? Rainbow. What's this one? Right, let's go.
Okay, so that showed writing. I actually want to show you writing. So that was the one on the video. I want to show you writing in a classroom, a different one, just so you get an idea of what the writing time is like.
How old are you, Mama? Did you say 8 or 9? 8. Yeah, you speaking? What's this? When's your birthday?
Okay, that's actually the second book. That's the elementary 2 book.
3 March.
So in the same class, some kids leveled up faster than others. So some are still on the elementary 1 and some are on the elementary 2.
18.
Okay, and they're speaking as they go on. And as you can see, the teacher is in the middle of the class, monitoring, helping.
18. You okay? What's this? Yeah. You okay, Aya?
Yeah, he's still on the elementary 1 book, as you can see.
Or one more. Ding. How old are you? I'm 10.
Yeah, he's speaking, trying to get it. There's the elementary 1. As you can, some kids actually are just beginning. That girl's at the end of the textbook, actually. Okay, so I hope you can see how it would normally work in our classes with a group of 6. Okay, so let's go to the next video. Okay, so these are the writing time essentials. So kids are at their own pace. So they're on different pages and sometimes even text. Okay, why is it good that they're on different pages? So one obvious reason, if they're all on the same page, what ends up happening? The children look at each other's books and they just cheat. So we're actually quite happy that they're on different pages. And why would they be on different pages? Well, kids might be on different pages because they progress at different points. So some children might write very quickly and make few mistakes, in which case they do the page only one time. But some students make lots of mistakes and we erase the mistakes and they will redo the mistakes the following week and sometimes the following week. So 3 times, depending. It just depends. But there's no stress to it. Like kids don't actually really care. And because of that, that's why some children, if you begin elementary 1, some children will go on to elementary 2 and the other kids are still on elementary 1. And it really doesn't matter because kids are writing by themselves. So they're not writing with someone else. If they were doing things with someone else, then it actually does matter that they're about the same level. But if writing, it doesn't really matter. I mean, of course we don't have the elementary one with the elementary 3 or 4, but you will have kids who progress to the elementary 2 and other kids are still on elementary 1, but their reading, the important thing is that their reading is about the same. So that's why they're there. Okay, this actually makes it very easy for you. So it doesn't matter if children join at a later time than other students, because if it doesn't matter what page they're on, it doesn't matter if they're all on the same page or not. And it doesn't matter if some kids are faster, which of course, with any group of kids, some kids will be faster than other kids. So it really makes it easier for you with your lessons. You can, yes, please join my class in September. That's no problem. Okay, speak and write. This is super important because especially with beginners, you will know that they actually don't know what the word is. So how can they write the vocabulary if they, sorry, the letter, if they don't even know the word? But if they have to speak out loud, then we find that the kids, when they don't know it, will say, what's this? And either the teacher or the next student will say, help them out, and they need to say it. And of course, it's good for pronunciation and getting it right. So kids are doing on their own. As you could see, the kids were just working on their own. The teacher was going around just monitoring, helping where needed. No looking back. With our texts, there's a lot of vocabulary. So in lots of texts, there's not that much vocabulary. So kids actually go and look back trying to find the same word where they wrote the letter B or they wrote the letter C, because like, oh, what's the answer? I don't know. But they never do that because they won't find it, because there's not too many vocab. There's enough vocab that you're not going to find the word easily. A crucial thing, and I'm going to go through it in another thing, is the learning from the mistakes. What I will say, we'll go through our text, but I will say with your own text or whatever you're using, if it's not the text that we use, choose text wisely. So this is what we found with other textbooks that are not very good, and just have a think yourself. Okay, so many textbooks trace words and sentences. Kids do not actually learn to read and write just by tracing. It is really just a waste of their time. We have had so many trial lesson students who show us their textbooks and like, they can do this, but then you actually ask them to do it from memory and they can't do anything. So tracing, it's just no point. Anyway, a choice of 2 is not a choice. A choice of 2 is just stupid. It's just too easy. So some textbooks have like, oh, the letter C, is it cat or is it dog? Oh, I wonder, which is it? I mean, they have a 50-50 chance of getting it right. So it's just too easy. Unclear pictures. Well, with our textbook, all the letters are there, so it's never unclear. You know what it is, because, for example, if it's a fox and OX are written and the child had to write an F. But I find with many A, B, C, this is why we made our own, you had no idea. I mean, I have no idea what the picture is. I mean, if I don't know, how is a child supposed to know? So there's never any wonder, what is it? Okay, not useful words. We hit on this before, but the problem with many textbooks, especially for native children, is they put in a lot of words that are okay for native children, but for children who are learning English as a foreign language, it's just not useful. And we have to think, we do not want to waste children's time. We want to teach them the most useful words for them, and not be teaching them things like wheelbarrow and spade and I don't know, other words that are just taught. You know, why is that even in there? Anyway, easy to difficult in one text. We have it by level, and then they go to up to the next one. But too many textbooks, I mean, I don't know how they expect them. Like, one time they're teaching colors, which is quite easy, right? I mean, you would do that with the beginning kids. And then somehow they expect them to be able to write the word photo or something like that. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Just take a critical look. Not enough words. That was one thing we found, is like, oh, there's one anchor word per letter. I mean, children are smarter than that. You can have more than one anchor word and then introduce more letters and words to children. They're smart. Okay, so I'm just going to show you more about like what the text actually is with the video. Whoops. Will this play? It's an ABC phonics book. Each letter has 4 words, anchor words, and children learn the 4 words as they write. There are many tests, and children must write the words. The tests are not only the first letter, but middle and sometimes the last letter. Children will do the test, and the teacher will write the score. Okay, and again, the reason we have all the letters there is so there's no confusion as to what the picture is, but also you will find some students, if you cover up what the picture is, some students can actually begin to read. This is another way they can begin to read by covering up the picture and starting to sound out the letters, especially with the 3-letter ones. We try to do that, and that's another way to get the kids to read in 4 to 6 months. If they don't do so well the first time, the following week the teacher will erase the mistakes and they will do a second time or a third time. So students go at their own pace. If they have few or no mistakes only one time, if they have many mistakes they will do a second or third time and learning from their mistakes. In this book, extra focus is put on vowels. There are many pages where the vowels are missing, and we find that students often have trouble with this one. This book also has questions and answers, so students learn how to read and then they write the answer. They can read and write the answer. This one they can read and circle which one. So they're learning phonics, vocabulary, questions and answers. They will become strong readers and writers. There are many games that go along with the text that use the same words, the same phonics, so students can learn everything thoroughly. All right. So I just wanted to go through a bit more what we said about erasing mistakes. So just take a look at this. This is actually in the home book, and we recommend that students write just, for example, if it's ant, they'll just write the A. If it's 6, they write the SI. Notice that mistake there. They write the R in a notebook. And they do this in class. This was assigned for homework. They practice in a notebook at home, and then in class, they do this in front of the teacher. Now, why do they do it in class in front of the teacher? Mainly because we notice that we'll have very similar pages in the class book, and miraculously students in their home book that they did at home had 0 mistakes, miraculously. And then when they do almost the equivalent but different page in their class book, they ended up having 6 or 7 mistakes. So we wondered why that was, and we think possibly there was over parental help. So what we do is we say, please practice in a notebook, do it in front of the teacher. And so what will happen is the child will write this in class, and by yourself, can anyone see how many mistakes? I think there's 4. Anyway, so the teacher circles the mistakes. So you can see on the left here, the teacher circles the mistakes. And why circle? And we know this is the opposite to Japan, because circle means good, but it's pretty obvious. If you circle it, then they can erase the inside and do it. So the teacher will circle the mistakes and then write how many. So it was 21 points. They got 4 wrong, so 17, and they write the date. So of course, in class, the very first time, the teacher will erase and the student will redo. Okay, and what I like to do, in class, the students will erase and redo, and then actually I prepare for the following week by erasing, or the teacher at the beginning of class prepares by erasing the mistakes, and the student will do the mistakes and maybe a few more. I recommend a few more again. So then the teacher, the student will do it a second time the following week, and if they do well, we put a big star, and basically that means the page is finished. But some students still make, 4 mistakes, or if you erase more, they make 5 or 6 mistakes, in which case they need to do it again. Okay, so the main point is students work at their pace. If they challenge themselves basically on how well they can do, and if they don't get a perfect score, If it has like one wrong, it's no problem. But if it's two or more wrong, we do actually erase the mistakes. Then they redo it. So they're learning from their mistakes. Okay, so that's basically the text and the thing. Okay, so the next wasn't actually in the video, but it's actually quite important, is question time. So I'm going to show you something else, okay, with question time. So with question time, we use these cards here. These are questions that are also in the text, but we want the children to be able to read. And these ones you can download and buy yourself. And the students ask and answer, or we use these ones with pictures up here. These are quite nice. Or even if they're beginning, we use the flashcards. And the kids will ask each other, what is it? It's water. What is it? It's so-and-so. And they ask and answer with each other by showing the picture. Because when they're beginners, they maybe don't know the vocab. So that's a great way. So with question time, there's different things. And then we also use, this is from the kindergarten book, we will use these ones too. So the main point is don't always do the same thing, like keep it different. Okay, so I will just show you question time in a normal class. Okay, so here we go.
Vegetable. Do you I like eggplants. What vegetable do you like? Vegetable. You tell me Japanese. Yeah.
Okay, oh, sorry. Okay, so what I want you to notice about there is you can't actually see it because I didn't put the video over, but obviously there's two groups. And the teacher has positioned herself smack dab in the middle so she can hear both groups. And the students, at this time, it's this student here who is asking the question, and these are responding and then saying, how about you? Or asking the question again. As much as possible, we don't want the children holding the materials. And that's pretty obvious because I don't know why, but for whatever reason, children always have to bend or pick at the edges. And we'd rather, since we spent the time actually printing these out and laminating them, we want them to actually be nice. Okay, so the teacher is basically in the middle. The students are getting plenty of speaking time because they're doing it together. And as you can see, there's might or might not be able to, but the teacher has more cards here. So when they finish, the teacher will give cards to a different student so they get the chance to be the leader and the first one to ask and answer. Okay, that's a pretty normal question time. And again, we will change which materials they use in question time. It's not always that, of course. Okay. So this is our essential for question time. Pairs or threes, teacher in the middle monitoring, helping if needed, ask and answer, full answer. Okay, at the beginning, for example, can you swim? Yes, I can. Okay, that's enough because it's just at the beginning, right? But obviously when kids get a bit older, we want more information. Yes, I can, I love swimming, or anything. We request more information, but at the beginning, it's just question and answer and then build on it. And then variety. Variety is quite essential because otherwise, obviously, kids get quite bored. This is what we aim for. But at the beginning, if kids cannot read, it is teacher in the middle, all 6 kids will do a question and then each child asks and answers in turn. So 6 kids. Obviously that takes more time and we want more speaking time for the children. So as soon as possible, as soon as we can, we break them into pairs and we break them into threes. But I don't want you to get the wrong idea. At the beginning is more like kinder, where it's the teacher and the students, and probably after 2-3 months, we break them into pairs or threes. Okay. I said before about no prep lesson. So this is what I mean by a no prep lesson. So have a simple plan. So our simple plan is what I said before. It's as simple as we have writing time, which is about 20 minutes. We have question time, which is about 10 minutes. And then it's just 2 activities. I mean, sometimes 3, but basically 2 activities. And you can alternate the activities. So that's your simple plan. You don't actually have to overthink things. You know, this is my simple plan that I'm going to do. Your materials at your school should be easy to access. So I don't have to lay out my materials. I don't have to do this. I can just be like, I'm going to go for flip and read ABC level here. I'll pull them out and the kids will use them. Or I'm going to do read and match. With us, we have all of our games are color coded to go with the text. So if I know that they're ABC reading level, then they're going to be everything's yellow. So it's yellow, it's easy. Okay. But once they level up, then they go to green. And kids know, they know themselves because they know what the next level is going to be. So they're quite excited when they go to the next one. One level teaches the same phonics, vocabulary, grammar, questions, answers in different ways. That's essential. And that's how they become quite confident and good at what they do. And it goes from easy to hard. So with our games, the beginning game has the easiest vocabulary, the easiest phonics, then the next level, then the next level. And students know how to play the games. That's how you have a no prep lesson, is have a simple plan, materials, and the students, you want the students basically doing the work for you because they're doing it and you're just sitting there monitoring. Okay, that's our normal lesson. I'm not going to do any more actually. Oh, that's it. Okay, so if you want to know more, please email us if we don't get to cover anything now. If, as said previously, if you look on our homepage, which is there, it has the videos of each of our styles of lessons, and then next to it in Japanese, but obviously you can translate, it has like basically what we do and stuff. The games, the text, and the flashcards, please look at Dave and Amy Games, and you can buy them on Teachers Pay Teachers. At the moment, we're actually going to be like selling them in a different way, but at the moment that's the way. But also blogs, I've written literally everything about running a school or lessons, everything in the blogs, and I'll be writing more stuff, but that's all on Dave and Amy Games, which we're in the process of redoing that website also. And if you're interested in the text, at the ETJ book service. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is stop this, and then I'm going to look at chat and we'll answer questions. Okay, and thank you everyone. Okay, chats. Okay. Okay, I like this one. So like Gabe said, your school is laid back and my students follow instructions well. Different page important. Thank you, Ellie. Homebook and workbook in class. Yeah, so Japanese teachers in school don't correct. They just cross it out and only take points. Yeah, I mean, yeah, obviously students need to learn from mistakes and they quite like it. For example, if one week they have 6 mistakes and then the following week they have 4, they can see themselves getting better. So the kids actually quite like that happens. Sometimes I just clash with high school teachers and they told me what to do. Thanks so much. Thank you. Okay. I think basically everything's okay. Is there anything else that, do we have, is it a good idea to play crazy 8s with beginners? We play Go Fish, which is like an ABC Go Fish that we have, and it uses the same vocabulary. So again, like if it has like the same vocabulary that you're using, but again, keep in mind if it's crazy 8s that you're buying from abroad for foreign kids, keep in mind, this is what you might find is that lots of times the vocabulary is not actually appropriate because it really is teaching them words that they'll never use in life. So, okay, any other questions? If you want to come on, yep.
Can I just talk to you?
Yeah.
It's easier that way. You have one book for school?
Yeah, so the way we work it is because, okay, I didn't mention this actually. So they have homework because if it's only once a week, it's not enough. So if they have homework, then they're doing something at home. And it's not like it takes them loads of time, but also moms and dads can see what they're doing. So moms and dads like to be able to see, this is what they're doing. This is what they can do. So yes, they have homework, and the amount of homework depends on their age. So as said previously, if they're complete beginners, even if they're 4th grade, they're beginning the same text that the 1st grader is beginning. But we expect the 4th grader to probably finish the text in about 6 months, because we will give, it's by grade. So for example, if they're 1st and 2nd grade, we give them 2 pages of homework. If it's third and fourth, we give them 4. If it's 5 and 6, we give them 6 pages of homework. So we're getting them through fast, and they want to, because they want to, they're like, why am I in elementary 1? You know, and they can easily level up. So yes, so they do homework, and as said previously, they practice in a notebook, and they'll do that in class. And what we do is previous pages where they made lots of mistakes, they do that, and then they go on to the class book. That's all in 20 minutes. So you will find you can probably do 5-6 pages in 20 minutes, depending on the kid.
So you just said you in about 6 months. So you're basically having 2 books per year.
Oh, no. Well, that depends. If they're older, then they go from elementary 1 to elementary 2 quickly, but elementary 2 will probably take them 10 months.
Okay.
It's only because they're older, especially the elementary 1. It's ABC. They will level. That you will find they will level up faster. But no, in general, normally each textbook takes 10 or 11 months. You know.
Okay, so
it's basically a year.
They're like third-year students or fourth-year students, and they're elementary level.
Yeah.
Good. I was a little bit surprised about that. I was like, my goodness, what do you do to the kids in 6 months?
Oh no, but as I said, because they're using but as I said, they just go, they're still on most of them are still writing on the ABC level, but they are using the materials from the next book. So they don't ever get bored because they level up to the next book's grammar, vocabulary, everything that's in there.
I like that.
Yeah. Okay. Any other questions that anyone wants to do? No?
I
think that's it. Yeah. Ellie just said Ellie's been using the book, and she says it's very natural and fun. Okay, anything else? Oh, hi Ellie. Ellie, your sound's not on.
Sorry. There we go. Am I on now?
Yeah, Ellie, you look very polished.
No, I'm not used to being the non-speaking person on Zoom, so I forgot to mute that.
Okay.
No, I was just going to mention about the textbooks and the speed. You know, some students will go faster, but as Amy always told me, the parents, you know, it's a sense of pride when you're like, hey, time to buy the next textbook. They've leveled up that quick. You know, at first I thought people would complain and be like, oh, I already bought the textbook for the year. But I did find the parents and the kids, you know, I make it a big deal when they level up and we get to pick out a pen, they get to write their name on it. You know, it's a little bit of a fanfare. So I would just say that the parents and the kids do really like getting to buy the next level textbook.
Yeah, and I mean, that's actually one of the advantages is because, so for example, one child will level up, but the others haven't. So it kind of motivates them, be like, oh, you know, they've leveled up and, I want to level up myself. So, yeah.
And even siblings, if I have siblings in the same class or a friend, and they feel that internal motivation.
Yeah, I think the key with the yellow book, if you look at the pages at the back, they have no clues, no letter clues. If the kids can do that quite easily, then it's time to move on. Go to the green book.
Yeah.
Yeah, just quickly move on.
Yeah, move them. I mean, the kids like going to the next level. But anyway, any other questions?
How many books do you have by now?
Oh, so there's 2 for the kindergarten. It's like pink and orange. But to be honest, we will, if they're like, we found, unfortunately anyway, recently we found some first graders and second graders join us, and they're really low. So we're thinking of renaming the kinder book, not kinder, but picture dictionary, because that's basically what it is. So we might actually begin them with that first, but there's 2 basically picture dictionary books that we use, and then 4 elementary books that go together.
Okay, 4. Okay, great.
If you look on the Dave and Amy Gaines, it kind of outlines them well. Anybody else? No? Okay, I think I'm just emailing to Dean, but like he should be coming on soon. So we'll just take a break for a second, and then from 3, I think Dean's going to come on. That worked out quite well. So anyway, thank you so much, everyone.